Hello, everybody. Kim Victoria here. Welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you being here. I thought I would start this video showing you the remnants of a bit of a play that I had today. I was painting with acrylics, and I'm doing some demos, which you'll see those videos pop up here next week for an art class that I'm starting on painting. But I've got to keep up with the journals, right? So let's clear away this. This is one of those plastic tablecloths. So I just had this out. And what this is about, whoosh, is painted papers. I had so much paint left on my palette bit that I was going like, well, I don't want to waste it. So why don't I just go ahead and make some papers? And look at all the papers. Oh my. So I'm going to go through these a little bit with you and show you of them finished. But first, let's go ahead and let me show you how I use that plastic tablecloth to create all of this fun goodness. It was easy, it was fun. I was doing it for about, I think it was about 45 minutes, and I produced all this paper. I haven't even counted it yet. It's still just a little bit damp. All right, let me show you what I did, and I'll speed that up and just overdub it because I was in it. Okay, so then we'll come back and we'll go through all of these. So what I want to start out here with is just, I got it at 2 times speed. And I want to show you, I'd already made a few sheets, and you'll see those at the end. But I wanted to show you just with 2x speed how I was doing all of this. And I will cut out a whole bunch because basically I just turned on the camera, just put the camera up on my little stand and put it up there and went, okay, I think I'll go ahead and video this. So I had this plastic tablecloth out, and you can see I was just using one of those styrofoam plates to mix my acrylics, and I do that quite a bit because it could just build up the layers, and it's disposable, and you can actually peel those layers off, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't done it on a styrofoam plate before. Anyway, so I was doing experiments with these plastic, and basically I'm just doing a paint transfer here. And I tried different brush strokes, created a picture frame. So I have a few of those with the picture frame. I'm just using 20-pound printer paper. That's all I'm using. That's just 20-pound printer paper. And I started out just doing simple pulls, and then I realized, okay, this is a little bit wet. I have to be a little lighter because the paper absorbs it really fast. Okay, but I just was moving along quickly, so that was much better. So then what I realized is that I could paint it so that it was like lines on a paper. So whatever journaling happened on it this could actually provide lines, lined paper, but being kind of cool and organic and different and all of that. So that's when I really realized this was something pretty cool. I had done acrylic painting transfers before, but never on a plastic tablecloth. And I highly recommend it. So I disappear so that I can put things on. I put a big tablecloth on the floor so I could put out all of these papers because I didn't have enough room on my table for all of them. Okay, and then I had, I had kind of a realization. I was going, okay, well, if I'm creating kind of lined paper on one side, well, how about if I just make both sides lined paper? So I did start doing that as well. And I love the kind of the organic look that I was getting with that. But I had so much of that blue out. I'll tell you, if you ever work with acrylics and you have a phthalo color, You only need a teeny tiny amount, and it just goes a long way. Phthalos are so potent. And because I was experimenting, I was going like, okay, how about if I make a picture frame? Because I started out doing kind of a picture frame thing, but then, yeah, kind of creating borders around the page. I thought that might be kind of fun. And then I am just barely touching the paper on this. But I thought, well, let's go ahead and just give it borders. I wouldn't even have to ink the edges. It's already got borders. So there's the result there. But I go like, oh, I need a little something over there. There we go. So that's another type of thing. So this was just a fun thing to experiment with. So instead of going in the horizontal direction, I decided I would change directions and see what would happen. I mean, I kind of know what was going to happen, but there we go. It just sort of looks like a forest. So since I'm playing around, I decided I would try something. Yeah, how about if we wrinkle the plastic? What would happen if I wrinkle the plastic? So, we're just playing here, right? It's just all experimental. So what would happen if I wrinkle the plastic deliberately? Let's see what happens. I'm still playing with the idea that I can create lined paper really simply. I'm doing this really fast. I just have it as 2x. So I decide I'm going to do that some more. So, okay, I was really down to, okay, I got nothing but this blue left. Let's just go ahead and use it up. Really created some saturated papers. And I went, well, why not? Let's just go ahead and get this finished because I'd already been at it for a while. And um, that blue paint was just going to last forever. Oh, goodness. So why not? Let's just really make a saturated page. And still, it came out really, really cool. Okay, I think we're getting down to, yeah, I'm almost out of paint. And I had not tried everything yet. So I went, okay, I got to try some different textures. So this is just a big, it's one of those really cheap brushes you get at the hardware store. So you can be very rough with it. Just really pounce it on there. And that's what I did. I pounced it, pushed down really, really hard to create maybe some different texture. And here's the same thing, just with whatever was on the brush. Get some kind of really cool texture. So let's see. I ran out of room to peel it off, so I'm peeling it off to put it on the floor from the other side. But still, it came out pretty cool. So that was kind of a fun idea. And I go, okay, well, let's try some other textures. I mean, I'm running out of paint. I might as well try some other textures, right? Just have some fun with it. Very cool. Very cool. You see, after all these pages, I still have paint. Not much, but I've got some. I'm also twisting the brush as I go around the page. I'm twisting it so I get all sorts of different directions. You would get a much different effect if they were all going in the same direction. Okay, this is the last page. I'm just going like, okay, that's enough. Enough is enough. Or at least it's the last application. So all kinds of things you can do with that great big brush. I started out with a small brush and then I went to a big brush and I was just pulling in the paint from all over the place. I'm really trying to use it up. And now just the last little bits. This one came out pretty cool too. They all came out really cool. Ta-da! Well, I hope that was I hope that was a kind of a fun way of I did these with a smaller brush and then I went, "Oh, this is silly. I need a big brush." And that's when I got out this one. Yeah. So I hope you got some ideas from that. Just painting on a plastic tablecloth and just doing a little transfer. And there's a lot of water in this acrylic paint. And I was seeing this as, okay, I can just fold that in half and look at what a cool journal page that is. I mean, that is really, really cool. And it's just like the only way you can accomplish that particular look. So, just a cheap plastic tablecloth. And these are just, they're all different. They're all really cool. We got a little different mixtures. So obviously it's whatever color paints you have there. Um, oh, I just had a thought. I wonder if I should scan some of these. But, it looks like a forest. I just was fascinated by that. Even the simple one like that is very, very interesting. So we got kind of a drippy look there. That's a good one. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So lots of fun stuff. Yeah. At first, I wasn't doing anything on the backs. It took a while. I was just moving right along so fast. Just moving right along. But I mean, you can write on that. Absolutely. Ah, there we go. So somewhere in here. Yeah. I started in here going like, oh, that could be a lined page, right? So very different looks on the two sides. Definitely a good lined page. Lots of fun. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. I think it took longer for me to put the video together to post than it took to actually make all these papers. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm sure I'm going to do this again. I did yeah, something I want to try again is acrylic paint transfer. Was something I did years ago. There's still a couple of videos on my channel from before the fire, which is the last time I did it. Well, this one got really, this was where I was doing the pouncing. That's come out with some pretty interesting effects. So I invite you to give that a go. You could do this with watercolor paints. And I have noticed Tony, Crafty by Tony, she'll daub on a glass sheet with distress inks and oxides, spray it with water, and she gets really cool effects for her various tags. And there was the last one. Fun, really, really fun. There are 51 sheets of paper here. And these will go very nicely with tea dyed paper, with Easter egg dyed paper. 51 sheets. Well, that looks like that's going to last me for a couple of journals at least. So I'm going to have fun with this. And I hope you give it a try and have fun with it. Remember, you can do it with your inks, your ink sprays. You could do it on a glass sheet. Try it on a thin plastic tablecloth, right? So, lots of fun stuff. I hope you're inspired. I love to hear your comments. And yeah, and if you have an Instagram account and you want to leave that in the comments or something, and I see it, I'll see what you did. I'd love to see what you do with this. Um, yeah, awesome. So I had fun today. I hope you have fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me in my next video. Bye for now.